separated from the Doctor, Clara discovers a new menace from another dimension. But how do you hide when even the walls are no protection? With people too safe, the Doctor trapped. Clara comes up against an enemy that exists beyond human perception. Welcome, friends and companions! Sci-Fi Fantasy fans meet on this channel for fun chats about their beloved books, movies, series, and franchises. We also talk about food and drinks, music and sport, and especially, we talk about Doctor Who, a special place on this channel for Doctor Who. Random, because we'll discuss everything that involves entertainment, including movies and series, books and music. Random, because we'll broadcast on non-fixed time, actually on many different times. You need to subscribe to the channel to know what time the broadcast is. Random, also, because we have no guests or different guests. It depends who wants to join me in a live stream or panel. If you want to join me in a live stream, feel free to contact me via Discord or YouTube, and we will look what is possible. You actually could you put your comment on one of the videos for more information. And you could also send me a message on Discord server. Enigmatic Joker is my name. And by the way, all you can also invite me for your channel or for your live stream or panel because I want to contribute also on your channel. So feel free. So you are invited, and feel free to invite me. Yeah. The Discord server is called Random Entertainment Channel Tech Doctor Who. And today is a Doctor Who channel. So, and my name, cheers mate and have lots of fun. Your host, Enigmatic Joker, that's me. So today, we have a 12th Doctor story. And that is called Flatline. Some general info about this story. Flatline was the ninth episode of Series 8 of Doctor Who. Flatline was Madison's first script for the show. 2 years before writing it, he had pitched his idea for a story to Stephen Moffat, but it was unsuccessful. When he again met with the executive producer, he showed him 4 ideas for episodes, complete with his own illustrations, aided by his background in art college. Taking an interest in the monster he had created for it to become Flatline, Moffat asked Madison to produce a story outline and he got the job to script the episode. It was only after writing several drafts that he was told the episode would need to lock Doctor away in a single location, as Peter Capaldi's scenes for the episode needed to be filmed quickly to abide by the production schedule. Madison decided to write a script where the Doctor was, quote, in the dark, end quote. For this to be successful, he had to create an unknown quantity to feature as his alien enemy. Much like his previous creation, The Foretold, he elected to have no dialogue for the aggressors, allowing something about them to remain unknowable. So Doctor Who magazine 479. So, we now dive into the plot. Are you ready? I am. A man is on the phone with the police, explaining in whispers that he knows what happened to the people who went missing. When they ask him to speak up, the man tells him he cannot. He needs the police to protect him, as the culprits will be coming for him. Hearing something, he screams in fear and vanishes from the room. The officer on the line asks the man if he is okay, getting no response. On the wall of the room, there is an image of the man stretched through the trim, screaming. After some adventures, the Doctor is piloting the TARDIS back to Clara's time to return her home. She's hurriedly packing her things, to which the Doctor tells her is not necessary as there is literally infinite space in the TARDIS for her possessions. However, Clara says Danny has gotten possessive and doesn't want any of her things in the TARDIS. Not really caring, the Doctor lands the TARDIS, telling her it's the same time they left. However, he then adds the same place-ish, realizing something is wrong. Clara demands the Doctor explain. However, he retorts that the readings he's getting are ishy. As he looks at the monitor, Clara heads to the Doctor, heads to the door, and she stops shocked and calls the Doctor to her. He looks at the door as well, stating it's very not good, it's shrunk. The Doctor and Clara exit the TARDIS, albeit with some difficulty as the exterior shell has shrunk to almost half its original size. Amazed, the Doctor begins wondering what happened and starts scanning with his sonic screwdriver. Clara looks over at the nearby tracks, reading the sign. They're in Bristol rather than London. The Doctor tells Clara that the TARDIS isn't going anywhere until they stop whatever is causing the problem. He gets back inside for equipment, directing Clara to look around for the source of the problem. On her search, she meets Rixie, a graffiti artist working community service for his art. He tells her that locals are disappearing, and mystery murals of them have appeared in a nearby pedestrian tunnel. Clara calls the Doctor, bringing him up to speed. She asks where he is since he can't see the TARDIS. However, he tells her he hasn't taken off. To her amusement, the TARDIS has shrunk to the size of a toy. The Doctor lightens the TARDIS, allowing Clara to carry it in her purse. He hands Clara his psychic paper, the sonic screwdriver, and an audiovisual earpiece so he can keep in touch with her. Clara takes this as being chosen to act as his stand-in. Annoyed, the Doctor tells Clara that she's not being him. Clara goes back to her mural tunnel, scanning around to give stats to the Doctor in the TARDIS. Rixie finds her again, asking for her name. Clara calls herself the Doctor. She asks Rixie to take her to where someone vanished. Rixie leads her to the flat of the most recent missing person, where there's a strange desert mural. After Rixie becomes uncomfortable with the strange conversation Clara is having with the Doctor, he decides to leave, but Clara stops him, realizing that his local knowledge could be helpful. She pulls the TARDIS out of her purse and gets the Doctor to open the doors, introducing him to Rixie. Now more willing to work with Clara, Rixie gains help from a police officer to gain access to the flat of the first known missing person. The Doctor says that the victims are in the walls, so Clara grabs a hammer. While she and Rixie work on the walls, PC Forrest is sucked into the floor. Clara and Rixie hear her scream, but by the time they reach her, she's gone. They look around the room and find another strange mural, and the Doctor realizes it's likely to be PC Forrest's nervous system and believes the first mural was close-up of human skin of the latest victim. Hearing a bizarre sound, the Doctor shuts the TARDIS doors as the creatures behind, draining it of its dimensional energy, are at again. And Clara and Rixie see what appears to be air moving like fluid coming at them. The Doctor quickly explains his theory that their adversaries are creatures from a 2D universe and must have been experimenting on the three-dimensional world, trying to understand it. As Clara and Rixie try to avoid the entity which is in walls and ground, Danny phones Clara and she manages to avoid questions of her whereabouts and quickly hangs up. The Doctor, who is listening in, recognizes that Clara has lied to him about Danny accepting her continued travels in the TARDIS. After escaping the flat, Clara and Rixie return to the rest of the community service group who are about to paint older murals in the pedestrian tunnel. But Doctor realizes that the images are masquerades for the two-dimensional creatures. After the creatures take one of the service workers, Clara leads the rest away, but the creatures chase them. They take shelter in a nearby engine repair warehouse, where the doctor tells Clara that her leader will soon emerge and that she must make sure it's her. When Fenton demands to know who she is, Clara coldly states she's his best option for staying alive. The doctor is impressed. The doctor helps Clara to try to communicate with the creatures using mathematics. When another worker is taken, Clara and the surviving members flee into a disused subway tunnel. As they explore, they find their only escape route has been flattened to two dimensions by the creatures. The doctor provides Clara with a device to restore the dimensions, and they just manage to escape. Doctor also tells Clara that he has worked out a way to stop the creatures and return them to their home dimension. But the TARDIS doesn't have enough power. Fenton tries stealing the TARDIS from Clara's back. In the chaos, the TARDIS is dropped down a shaft onto an active railway line with an oncoming train heading right for it. With some advice from Clara, the doctor is able to get the TARDIS off the rails by using his hands to move it, resulting in the doctor doing a little victory dance for saving his TARDIS and himself. However, his victory is short-lived as the TARDIS tips over on to the rails again. No! In order to protest the TARDIS from oncoming train, the doctor activates its siege mode at the very last minute, but without power is unable to return it to normal. The lack of power is also causing the life support systems to fail. Clara uses a sonic screwdriver to stop an out of service train, and they attempt to use it to ram the creatures to prolong time to get back into contact with the doctor. However, the train is simply transformed into two dimensions. As they escape, Clara finds the TARDIS now looking like a plain cube with Gallifreyan symbols and takes it with her. Taking shelter in a disused office space, Clara comes up with a plan to provide energy to the TARDIS by having Rixie paint out a fake access door on the back of a large poster. Unsure if Clara can still hear him or even if she is still alive, the doctor praises her performance, saying that she made a mighty fine doctor. When the creatures attempt to pull the fake door into three dimensions, they instead feed their energy into the TARDIS, restoring it to normal. Realizing they have no interest in peace, the doctor denounces the creatures as monsters and states that it is his job to stop the monsters. He exits the TARDIS and uses the sonic screwdriver to stop the creatures, whom he dubs the Boneless, sending them back to their own dimension with a warning to those who survive the trip. You are not welcome here. This plane is protected. The doctor gets everyone out of the tunnel safely in the TARDIS. Clara rejects a call from Danny, catching the doctor's attention. He notes that she enjoyed playing the doctor for the day. She asks him to admit that she was a good doctor. He reluctantly tells her that she made an exceptional doctor, but that goodness had nothing to do with it. As Clara watches the doctor enter the TARDIS, Missy, seated in a darkened room, is watching Clara on what appears to be a tablet. Missy says, with regard to her, Clara, that she has chosen well. And that, my friends and companions, is the end of the story called Flatline. I will name some cast members. The Doctor, the 12th Doctor, is played by Peter Capaldi. Clara is played by Jenna Coleman. Rixie is played by Jovine Wade. Danny is played by Samuel Anderson. Roscoe is played by John Cummings. PC Force is played by Jessica Hayles. Fenton is played by Christopher Fairbank. Al is played by Matt Bardock. George is played by Rob Bajat. Bill is played by James Quinn, and Missy is played by Michelle Gomez. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, we'll now do some world building. There's some references. Technology, for example, the doctor names the device he creates to this culture from the real world. Clara suggests mimicking and hand motion as performed by the disembodied hand character thing from the Adams family to enable the doctor to move the shrunken TARDIS out of the path of an approaching train. Some world building in Dr. Stardust, 2 points. The doctor puts the TARDIS in siege mode. And when the TARDIS is in siege mode, Califrane writing is visible on the exterior. Um, some world building individuals. Fenton is not tricked by the psychic paper. The doctor suggests this is due to lack of imaginations. And the second thing is that Forrest was investigating the disappearance of Mr. Heath. Um, some world-building organizations. Clara pretends to be from MI5 and Health and Safety. Some world-building species. The doctor knows a race made of Centennial gas who throw fireballs as a friendly wave and a race with 64 stomachs who greet each other by disemboweling. And last world building in 5 things is that Jamie Madison was inspired by his ambassadors by Hans Holbein the Younger. The second thing in influence is the Madison was also inspired by Edwin A. Abbott's 1884 novella Flatland, a romance of many dimensions, which told of Square inhabiting the two-dimensional flatland, who encountered various inhabitants of worlds with differing numbers of dimensions. Third thing is Madison was also inspired by Flat Stanley in a 1964 children's novel by Jeff Brown, in which a boy was flattened beneath a fallen bulletin board, only to discover the unexpected possibilities which is two-dimensional existence now offered. A fourth thing is that the fourth Sapphire and Steel serial involved an entity which could trap people in photographs. And last thing is that Madison thought in terms of various Looney Tunes cartoons in which a recurring gag involved a character's ability to enter a painting which others could not. Um, okay, some story notes. The Radio Times program listing was accompanied by a small collar head and shoulders shot of Christopher Fairbank as Fenton, with accompanying caption Doctor Who, 8:25 p.m. Will guest star Christopher Fairbank be on hand as Clara is forced to go it alone? The second story notice that first train bears the number A113, an animation joke first known to originate in the Amazing Stories episode, quotes the family dog, end quote, and used in many other movies and television shows. A113 is a classroom used at the California Institute of the Arts for graphic design and character animation, is widely recognized by alumni of the institute. A third thing is that um, the shrunken TARDIS and seats mode TARDIS props were cast resin fabricated by prop maker Nicholas Robato. Another thing is that a version of the shrunken TARDIS prop made of molded rubber parts was prepared for the scene in which the TARDIS is dropped. During filming, the main prop, made of cast resin parts, was inadvertently used in the scene and dropped instead, requiring repair. Another note is that coincidentally, This story aired at the same time as the Doctor Who magazine comic strip comic The Eye of Torment. It not only featured Clara taking on Doctor-like responsibilities, it also had her taking a gamble with someone's life in similar fashion, and ended with a similar summer exchange about Clara beginning to think like a Doctor. Another thing is that while the title Flatline refers directly to two-dimensional nature of the bonus, it's also a term for death, referring to the deceased lack of a heartbeat on an electronic monitor. Another note is that Jay Madison was a lifelong fan of the show and had previously had discussions about writing for seasons 1 and 5 without success. His work caught the attention of Sue Vertu, who convinced Stephen Moffat to give him another chance. Aware that his earlier suggestions had dwelt too much on high concepts at the expense of offering engaging adventures for a general audience, Madison developed 4 concepts to present to Moffat. He discussed them with Toby Haddock, whom Madison knew from his days as a stand-up comedian, and was reassured that the series had not previously explored similar ground. Another thing is that Madison uh, originally imagined the bonus sliding over people, crushing their bones, and allowing their bodies to be piloted. James Madison named Rick C. Morehouse after the best man at his wedding. Another thing is that original a key group of characters was a gang of a young homeless graffiti artist. One of them, Luke, would be the first victim of the bonus. The story then follows Rixie, who, along with the survivors, would discover the Doctor and Clara in the service tunnels, already in the process of investigating the bonus after meeting the terrified homeless teenagers. The train driver entered the proceedings at an early stage, accompanying a group of refugees from a train car which had been attacked by the bonus. The monsters continued to pick up of the humans, at one point even setting up an ambush by piloting the bodies of several police officers. Then saving one of the teenagers, who was known as Hashtag. The Doctor was finally able to locate the vessel which had transported the bonus from their homeworld into three-dimensional space. Rixie painted a false door in front of the ship, and when the monsters tried to flatten it, they triggered their vessel's recall protocol, bringing them back to their own realm. The episode ended with a coda set several years in the future, in which Hashtag, now grown to adulthood, finished telling the story of the bonus as warning to others. That's original thing. Another thing is that the train driver was originally named Perkins, after a friend of Jim Mattison's who was a real aficionado. He also inspired Perkins in Mummy on the Orient Express. He was instead named Bill, which was originally the name of one of the passengers. Another thing is, in subsequent drafts, the first victim of the bonus became an aging hippie called Morton. He became Roscoe. Another note is that the Doctor was originally supposed to seek help from Kate Stewart and units. Another thing is that the episode was double banked with Mummy on the Orient Express, requiring the Doctor's role to be reduced so that Peter Capaldi could film that episode. This prompted Jamie Matheson to expand upon an element of his earlier drafts, in which the size of the TARDIS was affected by the bonus. Originally, the Doctor had been able to reverse the phenomenon, but he would now become trapped inside a shrinking time machine. Another thing is that Jamie Matheson was asked to write Mummy on the Orient Express based on the strength of this episode. Another thing is that briefly, Bill was an old friend of Fenton's and explained that the other man's bitterness was because he had once been an anti-authoritarian himself. Another thing is that the episode comprised Block 5 of Season 8. Another thing is that Danny Pink's cameo was the first scene to be shot. Next thing, filming was halted for a day because Jenna Coleman was attending the Glamour Woman of the Year award ceremony, where she was named Best UK TV Actress. Another thing is that the first train carries the name A113, a tribute to Pixar, which includes A113 in all its films, a reference to the classroom at the California Institute of Technical Arts, where many Pixar figures studied, including John Lasseter and Brad Bird. Another thing is that Missy's cameo was a late addition to the script. Next thing is that Joey Van Wade and Michelle Gomez would later co-star in Doom Patrol. Another thing is that Danny's phone call to Clara was re-recorded to account for changes which had latterly been made to Clara's dialogue. And the last story note is that a scene dropped in editing saw the doctor boost Clara's cell phone signal so that for survivors of the community payback crew could call their loved ones. Rixie declared they had no one to call, while Fenton admitted that the person he wanted to phone would hang up on him. As a result, Rixie offered to make the call for him. The subsequent dialogue implied that he spoke to the mother of Fenton's daughter. So there were some story notes. Last but not least, the continuity. Again and again, Doctor Who universe stories and episodes are in some to some extent related to each other, are reference to each other, for influence to each other, or linked to each other. I have 8 points. Following. First one, the TARDIS exterior has shrunk on several occasions. It was made smaller upon materialization when the TARDIS doors opened during flight. We see that in Planet of Giants. That is the first Doctor story. Miniaturized when it materialized in Miniscope. This Carnival of Monsters is a third Doctor story with John Pertwee. And was reduced in size after the Tremas Master interfered with the Logopolians block transfer computation on Logopolus. When the fourth Doctor was fixing the Chameleon circuit. You see that in the TV story Logopolus. And it was miniaturized while inside the Selecta. That is in the story Let's Kill Hitler and the Wedding of River Song. Another thing, second thing is that the Doctor uncovers Clara's lies about Danny's stance on her traveling with him. That is a link to a TV story Mimi on the Orient Express. A third thing is that the Isolus and the Mona Lisa were able to transfer the two-dimensional into the three-dimensional and vice versa. See that in the TV story Fear Her and Mona Lisa's Revenge. And Mona Lisa's Revenge is Sarah Jane Smith adventure, actually. The fourth thing is that the TARDIS doors are opened from the console, accompanied by the classic TARDIS door sound. That's also the case in TV story and Another Earthly Child, the first story on screen with the first Doctor. The 11th Doctor, Matt Smith, previously closed the doors via console, though on that occasion it was the result of the Doctor putting the TARDIS in lockdown. We see that in the TV story Journey to the Center of the TARDIS. Fifth thing is that when the Doctor is ruling out possibilities of moving TARDIS out of the way from the train, he mentions the heart of the TARDIS. This linked to the relation to the story arc of Infinity. That is with the fifth Doctor, Peter Davison. The sixth thing is that the Doctor is uncomfortably with how easily Clara assumes his role. Previously, Davros and Rory, in different ways, noted the Doctor's tendency to turn his companions into worse people. There's also a link to there's a link to TV star Johnny's End and the Vampires of Venice. Seventh thing is that the Doctor tells the bonus that end space is protected, as similarly told the Psychorex. We see that in the story The Christmas Invasion. And Atraxi, we see that in the TV story The 11th Hour. A similar statement was pronounced about the planet Trenzalore. We see that in TV story The Time of Doctor. A last thing in continuity is that Clara pretends to be from Health and Safety, as she previously had done with the 11th Doctor. That is in the TV story Hide. So that, my friends, is all I have to say about this story. Then it's time for commercials. So, the commercials. Sci-Fi Fantasy fans meet to this channel for fun chats about their beloved books, movies, series, and franchises. We also talk about food and drinks, music, and sport. And a special place on this channel for Doctor Who. This random entertainment channel. Today it's called Doctor Who channel. This random entertainment channel is random because we discuss everything that involves entertainment, including movies and series, books and music. Random because we'll broadcast on 6 times, actually many different times. That's what the doctor does, actually, non-linear. You need to subscribe to this channel to know what time the broadcast is. Random also because we have no guests or different guests. It depends on what you join me in the live stream or panel. If you want to join me in live stream, feel to contact me via YouTube. You can put a comment under one of the videos and you can contact me there. Or you can contact me via the Discord server. And it is called Random Entertainment Channel. And you can send me a message there. You can also invite me for your channel, for your live stream and panel, because I also want to contribute to your channel. Because yeah, we are. I want to network. I want to make friends. So I invite you, and feel free to invite me. Yes, very good. So this is your host, Enigmatic Joker. So cheers, mate, and have lots of fun. Enjoy your day. Enjoy Doctor Who. For now, bye bye. Bye bye. I'm looking forward to meet you.